Welcome to episode 2 of Cross Court Conversations, your source for trending NBA news and from the couch criticism. I'm Daisy, serving as the moderator, with Mastiff and Banana serving as the host. To kick off today's episode, I want each of y'all to give me one word as to how you feel about the NBA this week. Mastiff.
Oh, one word how I feel about the NBA this week. That's tough.
It could be all of the NBA or maybe some things that your team has done personally that got you in your feelings. Or Banana, if you have your word,
I'm about
you
to say
can
I got
chime
my
in.
word,
Oh
but
yeah,
Okay, go
I
ahead.
might as well hide. So I'll just say lackluster.
Ooh,
That's my word to use right now, and I'm mainly talking about the playoffs because
yeah.
everything else happening in the NBA is more interesting right now than what the playoffs are at this moment.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna go tragic, and
Oh,
that's based off of me picking the Timberwolves to win the series and just how it ended.
Yeah.
okay. So we will definitely get into that topic just shortly. And actually, that's a great segue into our first segment of the podcast, which is Trending Topics. It's the segment where we discuss the topics at the front of NBA news. First off, that we do want to touch upon is the status of LeBron returning to the Lakers. So, y'all have to fill me in about what's going on here.
Okay, so from the gist of it, from what I have gathered, is that um it's more so like should the Lakers or should he like re-sign with the Lakers or should the Lakers bring him back? We know LeBron is still good even at the age of 41, and I think it's more of a. I think for me, I personally, in my opinion, is more of a money thing. Like, will they be willing to pay him the money that he wants? Because LeBron is still like with as good as he still is. I think he still deserves money. I don't know if he should be like a max contract type of player, but he still like from what he can produce on the court deserves like a decent contract. And I don't know if the Lakers are going to be willing to pay that. Um, it's kind of like a catch-22 with that whole thing, like a double-edged sword, because if they pay him, then they can't really bring in the other talent to help surround them. So it's one of those things, and I think he should go back to the Lakers. I think there should be something that worked out between them because he played his role well as a um
Option.
third option on the team, because then at that point he didn't have to like overexert himself on the offensive end, and you saw that his defense picked up, which was good.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like he is old though. You never know. Like I feel like with NBA players, and you see it like with some players where it's like they're really good, and then that drop off is steep.
Yeah. Usually it's not a slow decline. Like LeBron and Steph are having slow declines.
Yeah,
So, like, that's not usually what it happens. Usually they're at a peak and then all of a sudden they drop off the face of the earth.
yeah.
And usually it happens quicker than what it's happening for LeBron anyway.
It's like a roller coaster. Like it's like that drop on a roller coaster. But like LeBron and Steph, it's like they're in like the lazy river. Like it's going slow.
Yeah.
So
But
like
I was going to say, yeah,
with his age, it's one like it's risky because like yes, he hasn't had a lot of injury and like knock on wood, there nothing bad comes to him at all. But as you get older and like the amount of mileage up on him and everything like that, like things could happen, and then it's like buyer's remorse when you if something does happen.
yeah. And that's why I will say LeBron is one of the players that I'll say of any other player being in this position, well, close to this position, because there ain't too many players that played as long as LeBron. He is one of the ones that I'm least worried about when it comes to like injuries and stuff derailing him. But that money situation, I do feel like LeBron at this point in his career, for the goal he wants, LeBron wants another ring.
Should take the cut.
He should take a pay cut wherever he goes. Now, I ain't saying he got to take a substantial pay cut, but he should take a pay cut to try to get to that ring. Like, okay, for instance, like Curry could be one of the highest paid players in the NBA. He, from that point of after KD left, even when KD got there, he took a small one. KD got there, but he wants them to find players that helps him win the championship. Now, they ain't did a great job of doing that, but he's taking smaller and smaller pay cuts each year, trying to help achieve that goal. Like players like James Harden, at this point, I don't even think James Harden really is concerned with super winning the ring at this point. Because he already done basically told the NBA he's not taking a pay cut until he fully declines in play. Like, so I mean, whoever gets James Harden.
He's already declined though.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like James Harden is at a level right now that he can still be a good second, third option. He's no longer first option, James Harden. But he also, now in my opinion, he should take one. He don't feel like he's at the point where he should be taking those substantial pay cuts. But that's also because I don't think he's worried about winning a ring for real. Now, if I have to be biased here, I don't want LeBron to go back to the Lakers. That's even as an old Kobe fan. Bump the Lakers. I'm gonna say I want to see everybody in a Warriors jersey. Every single anybody that I can see.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the Lakers and the Lakers brass is they're taking LeBron for granted? Him being there.
Oh, definitely. Because even though I know at this point LeBron has say so in like some of the moves and stuff teams make and all that different stuff like that, which he should at this point with how long he's been in the league, success he had in the league, he should have a little say so. If we about to trade for a player to do something, I don't think it's a trade that should happen on the Lakers right now. Now, if he goes to another team, it may be different. I mean, it's still LeBron, but on the Lakers though, there should not be a trade that happens or anything of that nature. Picking up players without somebody being like, "Hey, LeBron, how you feel about this?" I don't think the Lakers do that all the time. So, I feel like there's a bunch of players that have been shuffled out through the Lakers over the years that don't really fit with LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, and I know LeBron has had a bunch of like 3-and-D players throughout his career and stuff like that. But the Lakers have picked up a bunch of players that claim to be 3-and-D guys, but don't shoot high percentages at all.
You know what I think the issue is with like some of the players that pair up with LeBron and then it just don't work? I feel like LeBron, when he got to the Lakers and they got Anthony Davis was supposed to take over that role as like that number one option, so LeBron could start taking the back seat, and he never did. Like all the injuries and stuff like that, and I feel like it didn't work out with that. And then they brought over Russell Westbrook, and that didn't work out. I don't know what happens when people team up with LeBron that they can't shoot anymore.
Yeah, but see what
it's so crazy.
Russ seems like that's even like the Russ pickup. It seems like a clash of play style with LeBron. Like, even though it didn't work out in Denver, I felt Russ worked perfectly for that Denver team because Russ brought an intensity that the rest of that Denver team act like they didn't play with.
Yeah.
So he could bring a spark off a bench and stuff like that.
See,
LeBron don't need you to bring a spark.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Russ though is that like when it's like a Kyrie, someone who can go out there and dribble and get their own shot, it's easy for LeBron to play off of that. I feel like Russell Westbrook he seems one dimensional because his shot was never like the greatest shot, but he could hit a shot. But when he got to the Lakers, it was like he couldn't hit a shot at all. So his play style became a little one dimensional. And it's hard for someone like LeBron to play off that. And so I don't think it worked that way with them.
That's why he needs to go ahead and team up with Curry.
I actually think that would work out a lot better than a lot of other teams he could possibly go
Definitely.
to.
I just need them to get the old folks band together and go on the old folks run. That's what's, the Warriors already got an old ass team. Just get the rest of the old folks together, bro. Just come on over. Just be the
Listen,
old folks tour.
he
Come run
can,
the LA Fitnesses.
he can he can just sign a 2-year contract because that's what Steve Kerr is there for now. Is 2 more years, and then retire.
Definitely.
Listen, I'm all for it. But that was definitely a great conversation. Next, I'm just going to shift us over to talk about the topic that got you feeling tragic and lackluster, the playoffs. Give me more information in regards to how the playoffs are going.
I'll
The
let you go
playoffs
first.
right
Yeah,
now,
I'll let you go
I want
first.
to say the playoffs right now are just they're boring. It's not enough excitement to the playoffs, which was part of my reason why I didn't like OKC is they're such a boring team, which is why I was hating on the West side last year in the playoffs. But the East brought all like the excitement and everything with the Pacers doing what they did throughout the playoffs. Made the playoffs very exciting. Then even getting to the finals and giving OKC a series. They made the playoffs very exciting last year. This year, there's not that team that we're like, oh, we didn't expect them to do this or whatever, blah, blah. Detroit just keeps having 7-game series with teams that are not as good as them. The Knicks just ran now. Atlanta, which is why they were in our teams last week, the letdowns. They gave us a little excitement with the Knicks because nobody expected them to play the Knicks like that until they didn't. It was over with. There's no excitement. Knicks just went to next round, blew through the 76ers because Embiid wasn't playing. The two teams everybody thought in the West was going to be in the conference final ended up in the conference finals with the Spurs had a little resistance, but neither team really had any resistance making it to the finals. It just became very boring very quick. It started off like it might be a little interesting, then it just got boring. So
and that Timberwolves series, I swear Julius Randle, whenever the playoffs start, he act like he don't know how to play basketball.
mm-hmm.
It's such a shame because he's good during the regular season.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the playoffs and he's a different player.
And what's crazy because I promise you, switch out Julius Randle for Bam Adebayo.
Oh yeah,
that makes them complete finals contenders in my head immediately.
oh yeah,
But they're such similar players. Like, they have similar play styles and everything. It just don't make sense to me. I don't know if it's intensity problems or what with Julius Randle, but some just disappears in the playoffs.
I don't know why. Like whenever I see him, he just look lethargic out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like he's like, I'm here now. What? Like it's just one of those things where it's just like it doesn't like he want to play fully.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
which is it. It makes too much damn money.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
But the East is pretty much I'm not gonna say set, but I feel like Game 7s and James Harden should not go in the same sentence. So it's one of those things where I feel like it could be set because I don't think they're winning Game 7. I think Detroit's gonna win and go and like
James Harden gonna be a no-show and Spider gonna have to drop 50. That's the only way they win that game.
It's going to have to be that. It's going to be like Donovan Mitchell is going to have to carry until James Harden decides that he wants to participate because Game 7s and James Harden have just never been the best. And that's why people say like he's not a good playoff player.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do want him to prove everyone wrong and like help Cleveland get to a championship. But I don't think that's going to happen with the Pistons because the Pistons that I feel like it's a 7-game series, but I feel like as they go, they figure the other team out.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the best on-ball defenders, Asar Thompson, right? That's the Thompson twin on Detroit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he's one of the best defenders I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So him on Mitchell or Harden is causing issues.
And that's what's so crazy about James Harden, because I don't care what nobody says. That's even me as a Warriors fan. James Harden should have another finals appearance. Not saying they would have beat the Raptors that year. But was it that year or was it 2018? It might have been 2018, I'm thinking about. But when Chris Paul went down that year and the Rockets missed 27 threes consecutively.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
I fault James Harden so much for that.
Because he had most of the threes, right? Or no?
He had a good portion of them, but it was also a sense of as soon as he missed a couple, he just started passing off to the other teammates like, y'all do it. And so the pressure wouldn't be on him or something to close the game out.
Yeah, I hope he proved people wrong. But like I mentioned last week, I still got Detroit winning the series and getting to the finals past the Knicks.
Yeah. It's just at this point, or how we were talking about the Spurs, I don't know how they'd be able to like maintain against the Thunder in a 7-game series without a wear and tear and beating up on Wemby. The Pistons gotta be tired. And the Knicks are so fresh right now.
I'm changing my opinion on the West, and I'm going to say the Spurs get into the finals.
Really?
Yeah.
The Spurs just look like such a better team than me right now.
I feel like I've seen enough from the young players that are actually rising up in situations and not backing down. Even like the rookie, Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Like he's out there like he's a vet. I mean, he's come from a basketball family, and his dad played in the NBA. So like, he has the confidence in him, and they probably instilled that from an early age. But he's playing well. You got Stephon Castle playing well. You got obviously Wemby is unstoppable out there. Kelvin Johnson. What's the other one with the Braves? I keep forgetting his name. Their 3-point shooter, because he's been knocking down shots like crazy.
I can't remember his name right now either.
But I feel like they've shown enough, and like the coach has, I guess he's speaking life into him, because there's no faltering. Even when Minnesota had a lead or in any game, there was no panicking, nobody. It's like the old Spurs team where Pop was just y'all just gonna play it out. I'm not calling timeout. Y'all gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, and I think that's also what helping them is that a good bit of the players started with Pop, and the coach they got is like a Pop disciple. And so he comes in with that same energy. So they look the same. They're going to play that system. The Spurs system was completely gravitational around Tim Duncan.
I didn't even mention De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. But everything floated off of Tim Duncan. Now they have Wemby. Everything's going to float off the gravity that he pulls towards him.
Yeah.
Everybody play our role. Play it officially. We won't have no problems. If we get down, there's no need to panic. We're gonna play our system. If we lose, that was the better team that day.
Yeah. Devin Vassell.
Yeah, Vassell. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out there, even just on fire. So yeah, I feel like they just have to play their game that they've been playing, and I feel like they'll take it. Plus, they beat the Thunder during the regular season multiple times.
So they got them 3 out of 4 times, and I ain't gonna lie to you, they beat them in back-to-back games. They played one game on my birthday, December 14th. The only reason I know that because I was in a hookah lounge, and that's what they had up on the TV. And I watched that game, and I was like, bro, the Spurs cannot, because this was before anybody was like, just believe how good the Spurs were. I'm like, the Spurs are not this good, are they? The Spurs is good. And then they played them again 2 days later and did the same thing. And I was like, that's all I had needed to see. I said anybody else might beat the Spurs and stop them, but I was like, if the Spurs get the Thunder do not want to see the Spurs in a playoff series.
So I think that it being in the conference finals is going to be a good matchup. So I'm definitely watching the whole series.
Now I will say that experience does still play a
Factor
part in the
in.
NBA. I don't know why it plays as much of a part as what it does anymore because these younger players are coming in with these basically college systems now. They're coming in, and the reason they're having so much success is because they're getting these teams are drafting them to teams that play systems much like they played in college. So I don't even necessarily have to be ready for the NBA type player if you're gonna draft me to a system I played in college.
Basically, yeah.
And that's what's happening with some of these players. They come into systems, and the systems work just perfectly fine for them. Like in certain players, I'm like, they would NBA, they might have not got a shot because NBA, you had to be, even if you came in and played a system, you still had to be a player that on the outskirts, if you go set up anywhere on any random court, you could go drop 50 on them. Some of these players is now I'm like, they're not going to drop 50 on some randoms, but there's dope NBA players because they come in, they're gonna play their system, they're gonna play whatever their role is, and they're not gonna care about it. And I don't know if that's the money now being in college, but NIL is them already making money and they already know I'm coming in here to play a system. It's a business. I'm not thinking too much about what this team owe me or nothing like that. I'm coming in to do my job. I don't know if that's the reason it is now, but these young players coming in playing systems.
Yeah. But yeah. Playoffs is I feel like now that it's getting to the conference finals, I think it's gonna be more interesting now. But like the whole road up to the conference finals, outside of Philly beating Boston, it feels like everything was kind of spot on with who's winning what.
Yeah, basically. And that's why I feel like it's been just lackluster. It ain't been no like I said, ain't been too much excitement right now. But like I said, with these finals we're about to get, these gonna be some slugfest finals, especially if the Pistons win tonight, because there's gonna be 4 great defensive teams in these conference finals going up against each other. And so it's gonna be whoever can score the most points basically against these great defenses, which is gonna lead to some excitement because somebody got to take over somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like the Knicks defense is going to suffer because OG Anunoby, I think he was dealing with a injury. So if he's not right by by the round, then
that's also the reason why I said it's crazy. It's bad on the Pistons right now if we have to go through the 7-game series because the Knicks been sitting for a while. Which means he had nothing to do with time to work on that injury, so he might not be back for game 1 if it was that serious one. But I know he's gonna play in the series. I don't think he had. I think they given the Knicks enough time to recoup from all that because a couple of them were dealing with some little injuries and stuff like that. They give the Knicks some time to recover from those injuries right now, while they still gonna be banged up coming out this series.
yeah. But we'll see. I guess by the time the the next pod happens next weekend, we'll have the winner of the Pistons and Cavaliers, and there'll probably be a couple games in already
Yeah,
into the conference finals. But yeah, for now, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good. I hope both go 7 games.
yeah. Now they do look like series that could go like that because I don't expect the Spurs to just dominate the Thunder like they did during the series, but I do expect them to win the series. But the Thunder, they're not no slouches either. I know I dog them out because I don't really like the team whatsoever, which is crazy because I like all the players probably individually. It's they're just so boring of a team. But they gonna give them a series. So
All right. Well, hopefully next time we revisit this topic, your words are definitely of more excitement when it comes to that.
Oh,
All right.
if the Cavaliers win tonight, you got to worry about that.
All right, so this brings us to our last trending topic, which is the draft lottery proposal. So, I am out of the loop, so I need more details in regards to what's going on with the changes they're trying to make.
Okay, so you've heard about the proposal, right, Banana?
That's what I was going to say. I've been under a rock this weekend, so I need to be filled in a little bit too. So,
okay. So basically, the NBA is proposing like it's called like, I'm reading it off the computer right now, like a 3-2-1 draft lottery system to combat tanking. 3 balls with the 8.1% chance for the number 1 pick for teams that missed the playoffs / play-in but did not finish with the 3 worst records. So between slots 4 to 10 in the lottery standings.
Gotcha.
And then 2 balls with a 5.4% chance for the number 1 pick. The 3 worst teams in the league. I guess they call it the relegation zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number 9 and number 10 play-in seeds. And then a 1 ball with 2.7% chance pick for the number 1 pick, the loser of the 7-8 play-in matchup.
Damn.
So basically, the teams that are actually bad, not even tanking, that's just bad, gets the worst of it because they won't have the better odds to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So I was talking about to Daisy about this the other day. I don't like that particularly because a lot of the teams that are just bad are small market teams.
Yeah.
That rely on a good draft pick to jumpstart them being good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if say a team like who's the small market team? I'm not even gonna use the Bucks because they got Giannis right now, but the Hornets or something like that, right?
Yeah.
If they were just genuinely bad, or the Wizards right now, they're genuinely bad. Like they could try to win games, they just lose. They get shafted, and for lack of a better word, because they don't have a good chance. Well, like they don't have the best chance to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to distinguish between like who's actually tanking and who's actually bad, but it hurts the actually bad teams.
That's what. So my idea for a draft lottery system wouldn't be no better to help that number 1 team. So being bad is okay. Like if you're just horrible, that's understandable. But the Wizards were obviously tanking at certain points this season.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to. They were bad. I was just like, there was no reason to obviously tank. Like, they could have played regular and they probably still would have ended up with the number 1 pick. And so, with it being that hard to distinguish between just a bad team and team tanking and all of that different stuff like that, I just think they should make them play for it.
Just have like a separate tournament.
Yes, towards the end of the season. If you wanted to tank and be one of these bottom teams, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get this top pick. But that bad team that's really fighting to get a pick, that would just make me believe like, oh, they're going to actually try their hardest to get this pick. Because that tanking team, no way you're going to be able to all of a sudden come together good and win this game. Not playing no kind of systems or nothing all year, just letting your players go out there and do whatever you want they want to do all season, you gonna end up with a worse pick since you want to tank. So, an actual bad team is actually out there fighting. They just losing.
That's interesting.
I actually,
So that's what I feel like.
like that. Have like they have the in season tournament. Why not throw like a tournament at the end of the season for the bad teams?
So a playoff for the losers.
Yeah,
yeah, for the number one pick, basically.
Okay.
And then however you finish in that little small tournament, it depends on those. And I don't know what limit. I don't know if they want to do it with the worst 4 teams or the worst 8 teams. I don't know how far they want to take it, but because like that 8th team, 9 times out of 10, they're not horrible, so they'll beat the worst team most likely.
Yeah.
But so that's why I was like, maybe it just needs to be on the 4 worst teams to see how the order of those top 4 picks gonna be, and the rest of it is just lottery system after that, because everybody else above those worst 4 teams, y'all was actually trying this season. Now, whether it was injuries or just being bad, something put you here, but it didn't put you at the worst team. So have a lottery system for 5 through the rest of the lottery. And the top 4 teams battle out in a little mini tournament to see who's gonna get the 1 through 4 picks.
And it should be, because it's like the bad teams. It should only be it shouldn't even be a best of 3 series. It's a winner go home.
Yeah,
because that way now you have to play your best. There's no another game
give
after.
us your best game to get this pick.
So yeah, that
like I said,
I actually like that.
That'll weed out those tankers, because y'all not gonna be able to put together a great game when y'all been taking all season. These teams that's been fighting and just happen to be bad, they're gonna be able to put together their best game, because they've been giving their best game all season. They just been losing. So
yeah, put you up in the room with Adam Silver.
that's what I said. I don't know. And then what's so crazy is that brings money, because now our fans are actually cheering for something.
Exactly.
Because they cheering for us to get this number 1 pick. So, like, I don't know. And that's what's so driving forward in the NBA is stuff that's going to bring us money, because that in-season tournament is supposed to bring excitement, but it's mainly to bring y'all some more money. To give teams something to be fighting for at the beginning of the season, because everybody don't really be playing for real until after All-Star break or whatever. That's what the reason was for them bringing in the in-season tournament and things like that. Do something like that at the end of the season for these the bottom 4 teams. So get a fan something to actually chill for this season. So that little boy that's been coming to a Wizards game all year can be excited because he saw them win. He saw them win, and it actually meant something.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, also, let me actually throw this in there also for the proposal. So there's guardrails also for the proposal. So the proposal bans teams from receiving the number 1 pick in back-to-back years, preventing any team from securing a top 5 pick in 3 consecutive years. And
don't like it.
And eliminates protected picks in the 12 to 15 range. So you can't trade the pick that's protected anymore in that range.
Don't like it. Don't like that at all. Because a bad team like the Wizards right now, regardless of tanking, getting AJ this year is not going to make them a good team next year. Matter of fact, in the off chance, and I don't think AJ will be a bust, but in the off chance that AJ is a bust, now Wizards might actually be good next year, because if they get AJ, then they got Trae Young and Anthony Davis if he actually plays.
I don't count Anthony Davis because he's
because he don't be playing. But if he does play, then you got them too. So they may actually be good, but majority of these teams that are down there and haven't taken, they're just bad teams. One player is not going to make them a contender. Yeah. You know how many years Cleveland had the number 1 pick after LeBron left? Like, I was like, and one of their players was a bust. He didn't do nothing for the team. So, like, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. And then the no top 5 in 3 consecutive years, I'm like, all right. So now you're just saying everybody that we pick has to make us a good team.
Yeah.
That they need how the way the draft works. Like there's so many busts, there's so many great players that are found in later rounds and stuff like that. It's just
because you might
not
find
how the draft
someone.
works.
You might find someone who has just like they had a solid season, and then they have like a show and out party during the tournament. But then, when you pick them, they're not that good. They just, they had that run in the tournament.
Like I was just thinking about all the players that got drafted before some of the great players and stuff. Like 2 point guards were taken to the same team before Steph Curry.
Johnny Flynn and
Ricky Rubio. Were taken before Steph Curry, and Steph Curry had just this was the season after he had balled out, and because he went back for a year. I wouldn't have done that, but he went back for another season playing Davis again. But he also he did better that next year in season, and then got put out by a great team in the tournament. I'm like, it's so iffy on draft picks and what our team is talking about and what we need and all this different stuff like that. That banning consecutive top 5 picks and all the different stuff, I don't like that at all because we don't know who we're getting. We're hoping we know who we're getting, but we don't know.
Yeah, the draft line. I feel like it's a start that they want to change how it's working, but I feel like it has to. I think they need to think on it a little bit more before anything.
Like right now, it just needs some minor tweaks. It ain't like it needs a whole uphaul of stuff. Like that little tournament system will be a minor tweak. Everybody else is still the same way. It's just top four teams, maybe bottom 4 teams, whatever.
And it brings in more money. And the NBA is all about their money.
Yeah. That's gonna bring in less. If we get say the Wizards, right? Say Trae Young and Anthony Davis stay hurt the whole year. We get AJ, we still suck, and now we can't have another number 1 pick the next year. As a fan, I'm like, well, I'm not really worried about what's happening at the Wizards games right now. I'm not buying tickets to watch the Wizards. I don't care if they are my team. I'm not buying tickets to go watch them when I don't have any hope for nothing. That's going to lose us money in the long run.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, then that was definitely a great conversation. I think it's funny how Mastiff, he wants them to just think about it a little bit. But I know for sure on the tail end of Milwaukee Bucks season, he just wanted them to tank. So I feel like he's one of the reasons why they're trying to change stuff.
No, I was saying this was the year for them to do it because they had already mentioned the proposal to change it. And I'm like, well, they might as well go ahead and finish tanking out this year because they're not making the playoffs. There's there was no reason for them to continue to fight when the season
for the fans.
When the season was already the fans would have understood. Okay, I'm a fan. I understand. Go ahead out there and lose a couple games. We're sitting at the number 10 spot already. So just lose a couple more games. Move down to the 8th or 9th spot. Who knows what happens in the lottery at that point then? And then, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
And also, I was only saying that because we don't have draft picks going forward, really, that we can actually do anything like this. This was the year where if it was going to happen, this was the year to do it because this year we have a 1st round draft pick. Let me just look at the Milwaukee Bucks draft picks. I think next year we don't have one. So 2026, we have our own, and we have a protected 2nd round pick. 2027, New Orleans receives ours. And we don't own ours. 2027, I believe. 2028, Portland will receive the more favorable 1st round picks, and the other one is conveyed to Chicago. We don't have a 2027 pick, pretty much. Our next pick really ended until 2031, honestly.
That is so sad.
We have one in 2030, but Portland has the right to swap with us if we have a good pick.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah, it's just we don't. Listen, I was about to get all into it, but
I was about to say that's coming up. You were about to get into it. All right, so we will definitely hear that small violin about the Milwaukee Bucks postseason and drafts and stuff like that after the next segment. So we are going to go ahead and dive into our social media pick and roll segment where we pick up topics from posts we see on social media and roll with it. So the post in particular that we're talking about today really touched Mastiff's heart. I'm gonna let you go ahead and just explain the post and then go in about it.
All right. So basically, you know who Miles Turner is, Banana, right?
Yeah.
So he has a podcast with Sue Bird. And
Interesting.
they were talking about the Bucks, and the topic came up about if like getting fined and stuff like that. And he was saying like Doc Rivers never fined anybody. Like nobody got a fine. Like, no matter what they did, he didn't find anybody.
Random side note, I forgot that Miles Turner went to the Bucks.
That was such a random pickup too.
I swear that's so random. And I mean, I know he had a great season or playoffs and everything with the Pacers, but that was weird. But
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So and then he was saying how like players were always like late, and how like if the plane was supposed to take off at 2, sometimes they wouldn't leave until like 4:30. And then she asked like who was the most notorious person that was like late, and he said Giannis, which is a bad look for Giannis. And so it's like it's a bad look for Doc, because as Doc Rivers as a coach, you should be held accountable for your players to a certain extent. And
especially when you're already known to be a type that don't really do no damn coaching.
Yeah, and then Giannis has to be held accountable as well, because as a superstar of the team, it's a bad look for the other players that if you are like, I don't know if Miles Turner was exaggerating a little bit with everything, but if he was consistently late and showing up on his own time for the most part, he needs to be held accountable for that as well.
Yeah,
because as the star player, the superstar in the team, you set an example for everybody else. So if you're showing up consistently late, and now they're just like, well, I know we're not leaving on time, so I'm gonna show up a little bit later, then that falls on Giannis, and then subsequently falls on Doc Rivers, because there's no fine and there's no punishment for being late and not being on time for what needs to be done. And like if you're going somewhere, if you have a plane to catch, you gotta be on time.
Yeah. And what's crazy is, and at first I was thinking like, why would Miles even get on podcast and say something like, but then I thought about it, I was like, well, Miles has been with the Pacers his entire career.
Mm-hmm. He said no. Every coach he's coached for, like players got fined for not showing up or doing what they're supposed to be doing.
He's gotten used to a system. He even got used to being the leader on the team, setting those examples. So then it made sense to me why he would say something, because I'm sure he has a gripe with how bad play was and everything throughout the year. If you have the quote unquote leaders of the team under this, like showing this example, and then everybody wondering why we lost, I'm gonna say somebody too, because I'm like, hey, well, shoot, Giannis was late every damn day, and Doc ain't fined none of us for being late, so we did what we wanted to.
Exactly.
I probably would say the same thing. So,
and I feel like when people get on podcasts, they talk more freely. So I don't think he was like really thinking too much on it. But yeah.
But yeah, so that's definitely crazy. And I'm sure has anybody else, because a bunch of Doc's players on podcasts and everything next. Have you seen anybody else speak on it to see if Doc has ever fined players or anything?
No one else has mentioned anything about getting fined, but there was like, uh, it was something somebody like Twitter houses a lot of different videos, and it was
Mm,
like an old video from like the Bucks where if you go to like a game, they on the screen they'll have like the different little segments they be doing with players sometimes.
yeah.
And in one of the videos, it was like, "Oh, who's the most likely to be late?" And everybody was like, I can't say nothing." Basically in the video, and so it was like, that's what they is that what they meant? Like they,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where it takes accountability. If it was like if Giannis was actually doing that, he like there's accountability there, and there's accountability on the coach. And this is like I used to defend Doc. I used to be like, it's not all Doc's fault that we're bad. Like players play the
Yeah.
game, you know. But if it was so lax like that, I no wonder there's no type of community like camaraderie or community there, and yeah, I can see it.
And that's what's so crazy. So I'll give Giannis this. He's not the first player, like star player or anything, that like has issues with like being late and stuff. Because usually a star player on the team has much more on their agenda than the rest of the players. But in these other situations, because like there was an issue with LeBron, part of the reason why the Heat used to bicker and stuff, that LeBron had started like showing up late to different things and all the different stuff like that. But Eric's supposed to find all his players. So the thing that could always be said was, well, LeBron pays his fines. Like you can always say, well, hey, he pays his fines or whatever, even if they built up, because usually with fines for being late and stuff like that. And this is just information I'm pulling from Jeff Teague. When you're late, it's not just like a set fine. Usually from the coaches, it stacks. Like one time, it's this amount, and it goes up to a certain amount. It usually goes up at a certain amount per being late. So they said LeBron always paid his fines. Now, granted, LeBron got more money than everybody else, but that also means that your ass shouldn't be late because you ain't got LeBron money. You're not the player LeBron is. And so I know that's a messed up way to think about that leadership, but if we ain't got no fine system and I know I'm going to be late, I have to start fixing my schedule to where I'm not late, because the other players, there's nothing for them to fall back on to be like, well, this is happening or this is happening, because we still got to make our times. We still got to show up before we got to do everything. Ain't nobody paying no fines or nothing. Why should I be on time? I ain't worried about losing no money. I'm not gonna show up. But all that, Doc. Honestly, first off, I learned the other day, and I don't know if I was just, maybe I was too young or just forgot about it or what, but I didn't know Doc coached Orlando. I completely erased that from my memory of Doc ever coaching Orlando. Didn't know that.
Did he coach Orlando? I know he played for Orlando.
Yeah. Doc coached Orlando first, I believe.
As a head coach or assistant coach?
Might have been an assistant, but I didn't know he was with them at all, coaching wise.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a video I watched. I was like, damn, Doc Rivers coached Orlando. That's why I'm searching it right now just to check and see. He was the head coach from 99 to 2003 of Orlando.
Oh, okay.
And he went straight from there to the Boston Celtics to 2013. And then straight from the Celtics to the Clippers to 2020. Then straight from the Clippers to the 76ers to 2023. And as you know, he was with the Bucks. But yes, which is crazy that man has had a solid 27-year head coach career with the type of coach that he's been this entire time. But yeah, he started his career with Orlando. So that's why I just wanted to know if anybody else has brought up anything about Doc Rivers ever find it, because that's what I don't know if I wanted to see if it was just some Bucks stuff or he ain't never find it for nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone from other teams has said anything regarding that. So yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. It's just interesting that that's what he was doing this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, also listen to like some of his post game press conferences and stuff like that. You can tell he had one foot out the door already.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
So I do have a question, just taking a step back. Do you think Miles Turner should have brought this up at all, since it paints his fellow teammate in a bad light? Or maybe it would have been okay for him to bring up, but just not mention Giannis's name?
I do think this is something where it shouldn't have been brought out like that, especially if
He
they're going to be on the
definitely
same
shouldn't.
team next year.
He definitely shouldn't have mentioned a specific player's name. Now, mentioning Doc Rivers, that's fine.
That
He's
yeah,
not going to be a coach
yeah,
next year.
he's out as a coach. So mentioning Rivers is
Yeah.
fine, but like yeah, teammate though.
But maybe Miles Turner knows more from behind the scenes that we don't know. Maybe he's not going to be playing with Giannis next year, and maybe that's why he feels free to talk about it.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if that's the case, then if he brought this up, then it could be something where he's actually like Giannis is probably out the door.
Yeah, because if you painted my image bad in the media, I'm not going to mess with you on the court. I promise you I'll drive straight down the lane and not pass you the ball. No more.
Also, I was telling Daisy earlier, I feel like the Bucks probably have a trade already agreed upon that they just aren't mentioning.
Yeah, haven't said anything about yet. If him saying some kind of information like this makes me think Giannis is out the door, which means he knows something, or you've already heard the trade talks. Like I said, with these teams, as much as like they like to paint the picture that a lot of these trades we have and none of the players know about it, anything like that, a lot of the times they be get input from the players, or they talk to them about stuff or tell them what we're gonna do. Especially if it's an organization that likes to have a connection with its players. Now the ones that don't like, they don't really care. It's a business regardless. We're gonna trade who we want to trade and stuff like that. Maybe they don't know, but the ones like Warriors wise, before somebody gets traded, they're not getting blindsided by trades. I'm not believing that. So it could be a situation like that he already knows what's coming. So
yeah, I also, who's the person? Shams. I hate Shams.
mm-hmm.
That man be just throwing stuff at the wall into a stick.
I'm mad Woj ain't here no more.
I know.
He Woj back.
I know. I miss Woj. But like, cause like my thing, like, and it's so funny because like I feel like Shams have like a grudge against the Bucks now. Mm-hmm. Because so many people called him out, because he's been talking about the Giannis asking for a trade. Like they've been trying to get Giannis out of Milwaukee since 2019, like since his second MVP, which I think was 2020. But they've been like mentioning like he should, because like when he got MVP, but they lost in the first round, and they were trying to get him out back then, and it was like every year he would say he loves Milwaukee, he doesn't plan on going anywhere. And like yes, he would say he was
dropping hot takes.
But yes, he would say random things that would get people thinking. But it could have. I feel like it was just things to get the ownership team to be like, oh, we need to do something to keep him here. I don't think he was planning on leaving at all. It's more so like, yeah, like Giannis said this. Now, like let's do something, because like it was like if he mentioned like another team or a city or something like that, it's like, okay, this is more so direct towards the management, so they can like help put a team together, rather than
like Shams for years has been like Giannis can't even delete a picture from his Instagram without Shams saying something about Giannis trying to get out of there.
Yeah. So, like people used to be like, oh, Giannis unfollowed everybody. He does it every summer. Like it's not a new thing that Giannis has unfollowed all his teammates. Like he does that every summer. Like it was never new.
And with how friendly the league is now, I don't know why they would think that was meaning he was going anywhere anyway. The league is too friendly for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm finna leave this team, so I'm finna unfollow everybody. Majority of the players, because one, the teams aren't like sticking together fully like they are. They had been in the days. There's nobody on that team that Giannis is like. There can't be anybody on the team that's like this is like my best friend type player on the team.
That was Chris Middleton, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He ain't
Chris
here no more,
Middleton,
so
he was still there. That makes sense. I never understand why teams get rid of their 1-2 punch. Well, teams that win or like in contention for stuff, you have to put players around your 1-2 punch. If your 1-2 punch has been carrying you, don't move the two. I don't care who you think you're gonna get in to replace them. You finna send y'all downhill. One, because these two players have learned how to play with each other, play off each other. Two, you probably just got rid of that man's best friend on the team. Like, it's gonna be so hard for him to recover, like in a basketball mindset, trying to make somebody else be that person on the team. So I never understood it.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and shift into our last segment of the podcast, which is coaching from the couch. It's the segment where our hosts, Mastiff and Banana, give their unqualified opinions about their favorite teams, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors. To start off this segment, I do want to get into what you guys would do as a coach when it comes to trades in this postseason.
You can start, Master, because I'm finna say some BS. Because everything I'm mentioning is not going to be possible, but I'm going to mention it anyway.
I mean, okay, so I already mentioned part of it last week, which is like I would trade. Listen, last season was not a good season for the Bucks, and if the things that came out about Giannis are true, then I would definitely look into getting him up out of there. And the team that I would reach out to, like I mentioned previously, is the Clippers, because they're still in the win now mode, because they have Kawhi Leonard, they have a good coach, and I feel like Giannis could benefit from that coach over there.
Yeah,
like a coach that would actually tell him something to Ty Lue was not afraid to let LeBron know when he needed him to do something. I feel like the coaches,
no matter how much LeBron didn't like listen to him,
yeah,
he's going to tell him anyway.
Yeah, like remember when who was it? David Blatt. They heavily had him. They fired him when they were like 30-13 or something like that.
Yeah, and like number one in the East. And they fired him.
And they hired Ty Lue. And I saw a video of someone from the team saying like he was afraid to tell LeBron what he needed him to do.
What he needed to do, yeah, because David Blatt really didn't say nothing on that team. So but LeBron was coaching that.
But you know, like he was one of those foreign coaches. Like they brought him from overseas. But I feel like Giannis needs a coach that tells him like what to do out there, and will not be afraid to chew him out if he does something like wrong. I feel like the coaches the Bucks have had hasn't been able to do that. Now I think Taylor Jenkins would be able to do it, but I don't think we should keep Giannis at this point now.
Yeah.
The Clippers would be good. If you wanted to go, like, if we keep the number 10 pick and we were just like, okay, Golden State, if you want them, we're going to keep our number 10 pick. Give us number 11 pick also. And like, I guess a first round pick, not even next year, but like the year after or something like that. I'll take that. Listen, because like at this point, it's more so get something for him now or let him walk next year without anything. Like
get nothing.
It's a situation where it's like you get something now or you get nothing later.
Yeah.
And so
which means you gotta in this draft or trades this year, you have to make a move that Giannis is gonna like so much that he says, okay, I'm gonna stay. Or you're getting completely nothing. So it's gonna be so hard to make a move to where Giannis is like, I'm staying in Milwaukee at this point. So it's probably better just to try to move him now.
Yeah, I don't care how much he loves Milwaukee, because Milwaukee loves Giannis, but it's one of those things where it's like at this point it's what's best for the team. Um, unless he comes out and says like, yes, I will re-sign the extension, then I would, you know, I'll just move him. Even if it's someone I say the Warriors because with the 10 and 11 pick we can probably get a good duo at that point.
Mhm.
But I pushing further back into the lottery, I don't know. Because you
Yeah.
don't know who's going to reach for players that the Bucks may be looking at.
Mhm.
But I would look at the Clippers first, and if not the Clippers, then I would most likely go Golden State, or if there's a team in front of us in the draft like that would want Giannis, that we look at that. But I don't know. It's so um it's up there. It's up in the air with Giannis right now. But
Yeah.
I do like that the ownership said like, before the draft have something like done, like either we're gonna trade him or he's gonna stay. So
That's what, and it's certain teams that have been so in the gutter for so long, like the Wizards, that honestly, in my opinion, right now, even with Trae Young and if Anthony Davis plays, I don't think a number one pick does anything for them. But
because
Giannis, I'm gonna say Giannis, and giving that number one pick to somebody else, that does a lot for them. And you don't have to spend this next season in the gutter. Because you're gonna spend this next season in the gutter regardless. But
even if they trade back a couple of spots,
yeah,
they can get something for that. They can get someone in that trade, and then they can draft a young player.
yeah.
But let's see, Dallas is ahead of the Bucks. Atlanta is ahead of the Bucks. Sacramento is ahead of the Bucks, and then Brooklyn. That's 6 through 9 right there.
See, Brooklyn, Sacramento, both of those teams will be out on a Giannis move because even with a Giannis move, they're not put in a better position to do anything next year. That's why I mentioned the Wizards, because on the cusp of thinking that AD and Trae Young would be playing, that puts them in a better position to actually make noise next year. Now, who you name somebody else?
Dallas, and so Dallas, Atlanta, Sacramento, and Brooklyn.
Dallas, you have Cooper Flag.
Who's
we need to let Cooper Flag turn into what he needs to turn into, and what we want him to turn into is Giannis. So
yeah, and he already plays that position as well. So
yeah,
unless Giannis is willing to go to the 5, I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, and the other team, Atlanta, you got the moves on the forwards you done got around, because you done got some good small and power forwards. Now to your team they can make a little impact or whatever. I feel they need some better guards. So I don't think they're really in the market for a Giannis.
No,
because
they also have a good power forward already, so they don't need Giannis.
Yeah.
Sacramento, they could use Giannis.
They could use a Giannis, but it don't help them.
It don't help them. But a draft pick wouldn't help them
either.
They
need a Giannis. Yeah, I'm about to say. But they're already, I'm pretty sure they're already stuck on, like, after the De'Aaron Fox move, they're stuck on, okay, we're going to be in poverty for a minute. Now, with that being said, I did forget about DeRozan still with the
Kings, yeah.
Kings.
Yep.
And they might move Russ.
Russ is there.
I'm about to say they might move him, but now
Zach LaVine.
that could make them contenders with a Giannis there, and also Sabonis. Like that, because that looks good on paper.
Because what Giannis needs is a second player that can get his own shot, which he would have LaVine and DeRozan.
Yeah. I said that looks good on paper. Now I don't know what they're gonna do about that bench, but I'll think about that later. Now, so that ain't looking like too bad of a move for the Kings either. Now I'm thinking about it, because they are in poverty because of hurt players. Forgot about that, because their players are hurt.
But so what I would do then is I would look to Trey Giannis, keep our number 10 pick. If we can get the number 5 pick, I would draft a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And but if we don't trade him and we decide to keep him, I would still go for a point guard if he drops this low, but I would say Michael Brown Jr. from Arizona, not Arizona, Louisville. He looks
That's what I was
interesting.
gonna say, because you know what they're gonna do if they mess around and get that 5 pick, and I don't think you're gonna like that too much.
What do you think they're gonna do?
They're gonna mess. I think A-Cuff is slipping right to that spot.
See, I would go Wagler over Acuff because
I would too.
at that point, then we already have Ryan Rollins as our point guard. So I would go Wagler, who is a point guard, but he's tall, so he can slide into the 2 guard spot as a secondary ball handler. Yeah. Or he can be the primary ball handler, and Rollins can go back to his college position, which is kind of the shooter out there, the scorer,
like a flex guard. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, A-Cup, he did measure in taller than expected at the combine, but yeah, I don't know. I would go Wagler over A-Cuff.
Mm-hmm. That's what I just said. I know, and now every organization isn't like that, but these organizations be bright light heavy. You got the bright lights on you. They make that pick over another pick that might work better in their system.
It sucks
because they don't want to miss out on a possible star power player.
Yeah, it sucks that at a certain point of the draft, it's more so draft the best available instead of what we need.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're still messed up because now you have this void in the position that you actually need instead of going for what you need. Like there's like a range of players between I'm not even gonna say the top 3, but from 4 to 10 that can go anywhere in that number. But you're going best available instead of like what you need, and then now you have a logjam at a certain position because you already have people in this position
yeah,
that you're drafting at. Which I mean, the Bucks kind of be the same way if they draft a point guard, but I mean, our point guards are not proven. Like Rollins has proven a little bit, but I feel like he can easily slide back into that the 2 guard role as a scorer.
Yeah.
And we can like have our point guard. But yeah, I don't know, Michael Brown Jr., him, or I would reach for Cameron Carr.
Yeah. That's what I say. I feel like there are better guards in the system that will work for the Bucks as opposed to A-Cuff. I don't know which team A-Cuff needs to go to succeed in the NBA, because I do think he could be like a star player in the NBA. But I also think he needs to be on.
He need to go to the Kings.
Yeah, I think he also needs to go to the better team, a good team for him, to succeed like that.
Or I mean, I guess the Clippers would work also, but
yeah,
I don't know how much leash he would have over there.
That's another thing. He needs to go somewhere where he don't have as much of a leash, because John Calipari likes to let his players do whatever they do.
Yeah.
That's why he's only won 1 ring at Kentucky and hasn't won nothing substantially at Arkansas yet, because he don't actually coach his players too. He's a great talent finder. He's not a great talent developer, but that's because he don't do no coaching. He just let them do what they go do.
But the talent that he do find is good.
Yeah, and majority of the time that talent is good enough to win games and everything, but might not be good enough to win a championship against a team that been getting coached all they 4 solid years together. So that's what his issue has been in the past. But if I'm thinking about the Warriors, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Warriors don't have enough pieces to make great trades, because the only young player on our team that I feel can go anywhere, and I don't want him to go anywhere, is Guy Santos.
Listen, I wanted Guy Santos on the Bucks when that year when he was getting drafted.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like he could do like as a 2nd round pick too.
Yeah.
But yeah. I thought you would say Moses Moody.
See, so Moses Moody is coming off that injury, so teams aren't gonna know where he's gonna be at. It'd be hard to move him right now. That's hold on. My stuff go out. You can still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, got you. But it's gonna be hard to move him right now. Coming off of that injury. He'd be honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted him moved more than I wanted Jonathan Kuminga moved. We was gonna make a move for somebody. I just knew Kuminga was gonna bring us the best value of somebody, but I wanted Kuminga to stay on the team. But I knew value-wise, Kuminga was gonna bring us the best value because everybody not in the Warriors organization, even some of them, could see that Kuminga is a great player. He just don't work in whatever
The system
Steve
was
offensively right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to get him out of there. Honestly, the Warriors done irritated me with a lot of draft picks and trades and stuff that are made. Ever since we basically had our tank year, which we weren't actually tanking, everybody was just hurt. And Draymond had to lead the team, and we picked James Wiseman. I've been hot with it. Because I was like, it's just, I just didn't see enough about him to make him look like the player we should have drafted. Now, on the cusp of looking at him, he looks like a perfect player for what the Warriors system was. But if you actually watched him in his games coming into the draft, he was soft. You cannot put a soft player with Draymond. I don't care how good he is. Like, you just can't do it. We're not going for the soft stuff. He's soft. He don't got enough intensity. We need somebody that's going to be in them forward spots with intensity. That's why we was able to have such slow forwards that were just good screen setters for years because they was intense and they grabbed boards.
Let me just say, Golden State loves them some Wisconsin boys though.
Mm-hmm.
They like Kayvon Looney from Milwaukee.
I was also mad about that damn trade.
Jordan Poole from Milwaukee. You got Brandon Pozinski from, I don't know if he's from Milwaukee, but he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was so hurt about Kayvon Looney, bro. I didn't understand that, and I know that playoff series he was losing minutes and stuff because he was moving kind of fast and everything. But I'm like, when we need somebody like him on the team to come into the games when we're going up against like a Rudy Gobert, because that's what he was best at. Or,
oh yeah, he was a great offensive rebounder.
Yeah, when we need him to go up against guys like that, we done lost that now. We don't have nobody to fulfill that role anymore. And y'all traded him because I guess y'all thought y'all was paying him too much money to not be able to play him the full game. Well, guess what? So is the Timberwolves. They pay Rudy Gobert way too much money to not be able to play him the whole game for when the team goes small. You can't play Rudy, just like you couldn't play Kayvon Looney. But when the team is going big, you need Rudy Gay, and I needed Kayvon Looney on the team, and they let him go. I was like, this is crazy to me. But
yeah.
So it's not many moves player-wise that I can see them making to get players. I honestly just need them all to go get shots or something to stay healthy for a full year. I just need one good year out of them. Bring in one good. Now we could get a Giannis or a LeBron or somebody in there. They bring them in there too, but I need them to get here and be healthy also. Like, I just need a shot for these boys to stay healthy. Because Al Horford's old. I'm surprised if he don't retire this year. Kristaps, great pickup, but we needed him when we had our full team healthy.
Yeah.
Porzingis, we have full team healthy with Porzingis. That is a wonderful pickup for the team. He played that's the type of forward for years that I've been looking for Golden State to have. And I wish you could have got him earlier because he works so well in a Warrior system. But I need him on the court with Jimmy Butler and Draymond and Curry and Moses. I need him on the court. Now, a player that I don't know what his trade stock is anywhere that I kind of want off the team is Pod. I don't really.
You don't like Brandon Pozinski?
He's a great defender. Don't get me wrong, but Gary Payton is also just as good as a defender as him. Now, Pod can get a bucket every now and again, but how I need Pod to get a bucket, he can't do that. I need Pod to be the dangerous person on the court when Curry leaves the court. And now, yes, there might be a little bias in me looking for Clay. Ain't gonna find him, but that's what I need Pod to do.
See, I'm at we got Gary Payton like early. We were like in on him early, but he didn't get any minutes with us, which is sad. Because, just to see what he turned into, because he was drafted by the Bucks in the second round, and just to see what he turned into, it's like the Bucks could have definitely used him, especially when we needed a good defense and a good defender.
Yeah. So that's all you bring in Gary Payton to be scrappy. He's gonna scrap, play defense. He's gonna snag you some offensive boards because he always moves. Like that's what you bring him in for. You don't bring him in to be like, yo, he not coming in to be your shooter or your offensive player. That he play defense, he get boards at a guard position. He remind me a lot of Josh Hart, but Josh Hart has to be playing forward. I still don't like it, but he be doing it
right?
Well. So,
yeah, they got Josh Hart playing way out of position over there sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Josh Hart started grabbing 14, 15 rebounds a game and stuff, I was like, what is going on? How are the other teams allowing Josh Hart boards is my question, really, but
yeah. But as far as the draft, who would you want the Warriors to take? I know you mentioned it early to me off the pod.
Yeah. But... So that's what I know. Last week I did a lot of about y'all getting LeBron Fine. I don't want that to happen anymore because I want LeBron Fine. My two players that I've been eyeing this entire draft, and again, it's definitely biased because I watched LeBron Fine all season, and I watched Yaxel, however you say his last name. I think it's Lindenberg or something like that.
Lindenball or something like that.
Yeah. I watched him end our season.
Lindenborg.
Lindenborg. There you go. But so I watched that man end our season. Like I literally, the rest of the Michigan team, yeah, okay, they came and participated and everything like that. But it was literally all him. Anytime we was making our pushes or we got a league or whatever, he brought them back. And not only is he like six, I think he's like 6'8",
6'9",
6'9". Yeah, so he's that height. He can guard at least the top 4 spots. He can guard centers in college, but I don't know if he. But he can guard 1 through 4. He can shoot. He sets screens. I'm like, any other person that's perfect for a Warrior system other than me just wanting LeBron Fine and then Yaxel. So
yeah.
And I just need him to shoot 40% from 3.
40?
He come on and give us a 40%. I'm solid on him. That's all I need from him is 40%. I don't need you to come in and be like best shooter in the league at 45, 46 range. I don't need that. Just give me that cusp of 40. Like that good 37 to 40% from 3. That's all I need from you to come in and play some defense and get you some buckets at the rim. That's all I need from you. That's literally all I need. And I think the Warriors will be fine with that.
But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting draft. I feel like the news of Giannis being traded won't come out until the 5th pick of the draft when he goes to the Clippers.
Definitely might happen. That's what's just so crazy though. That's why I say Shams kind of sucks though, because Woj done got inside information already. Shams just be coming up with stuff. Woj done actually figure something out.
Yeah.
he had enough connections and everything where he could have figured something out for us. And this news already be done broke. Woj broke it. Now y'all ain't got no choice but to say something about it.
And also I feel like players respected Woj a lot more than Shams.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
Definitely respecting him more. Sam's also just. I don't like Sam's at all. I only like his face.
What is
One,
going on now?
one, it took me years to see Woj's face. I just saw the different updates and stuff, so I wasn't really on ESPN and all this. So like, I wasn't seeing his face. As soon as Shams came about, bro, his face is everywhere. Woj is kind of like doing his stuff in secret. Now I see Shams' face just pop up, come up here with some BS. He don't even know what he's talking about.
yeah. Shams he just it's like he just be throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it stick. And then when it actually happened, then he be trying to take all the credit for it. Right? No, you've been guessing for 5 years now.
That's why it was so hard for me because I don't know. See if it was him that dropped that Doncic news first for the Dallas trade.
Yeah, I don't remember.
For some reason, I feel like it was him, and because whoever dropped it first, I immediately saw the post and did some BS, and then went on about my business. Then as the day went on, kept seeing post stuff about. I was like, did Dallas actually trade Luka? I was like, Dallas couldn't trade Luka. But
Yeah, that trade came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just need the Bucks to go ahead and trade Giannis to the Clippers for the number 5 pick. I'll be good.
Now, question: if they do trade them, are you still going to follow Giannis like you follow LeBron wherever he goes?
Yeah, I'll still follow it. I'll keep up with them. I would like to watch the game. Like if he got traded to the Clippers, I would watch the game just to see how like a different coach uses Giannis.
Right.
Because the coaches that a coach then would actually like have a system in place. Because I feel like the Bucks really didn't have a system in place. Except Coach Bud had a system, but it wasn't like a good system. It was always just 4 out and let Giannis drive to the basket and kick if they build a wall.
Yeah,
that was his system. So I would like to see Giannis in a system that actually has a coach that would run a system, whether it's for him as the primary person in the system or him as a complementary person. Yeah. So I would watch because I think Coach Lou is actually really good, a really good coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we are getting to the point of wrapping up the podcast. Do either of you guys have any last minute words before we get up off the couch?
I just say I've been watching this Detroit Cleveland game in the background, chatting, and it's gonna be a snooze fest. Like,
see, I forgot it was even on. So yeah,
I had Prime up, and they got the playoff games on Prime, so I just pulled it up, and it's not interesting right now. Maybe because I ain't got no sound or nothing. 16-13 Cleveland with 4 minutes left in the quarter right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Honestly,
put
it
it
looks
on
like
after this.
it's been nothing but turnovers and missed shots so far.
They all nervous right now. But yeah, I mean, the last thing I want to say is get that man off my team.
Don't do that. Do not do that. What was your team before Giannis?
My team is since I started watching basketball, it's always been the Bucks. And then I cheer for Cleveland because I'm from Ohio and LeBron. But whenever Cleveland played the Bucks, I'm like I want the Bucks to win. Like it's always been the Bucks. Even when they only won 15 games, I was a season ticket holder. I was there.
and the Bucks were messing over picks and stuff for years before. So it was like they found a diamond in the rough. But sometimes those diamonds get dirty.
Okay.
Look at Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace at the game. Okay.
I just see them. Ben Wallace be here looking like David Better.
Right. But yeah,
All right.
so that's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, with those last words, we do want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning in today for episode 2 of Cross Court Conversations. Until next time, bye.